Rugby World Rankings, folks. After 4 rounds of Six Nations action with a couple of upsets, the teams have been on the move. The Italians are in a kind of record-breaking position, having passed the Wallabies, I think, for the first time ever. With the rankings, you guys can let us know how fair or not you think they are, and we'll look at the permutations for the final round of the competition. South Africa kind of extended their lead at number 1 with the Irish loss to England at the weekend. So South Africa almost a full 4 points clear, with Ireland dropping from 92.11 to 90.69 with that loss. So as I said, the gap kind of widens there. New Zealand's still at number 3, and France have closed a little bit on Razors, boys. Remember, New Zealand's not in action, neither is South Africa, so we're not getting any points one way or the other. But France with that away win over the Welsh. Big win that it was, 86.39 up to 87.31. So kind of a much needed one for them. England maybe justified their position on the rankings with that, I don't want to call it a big win. I mean, it was big in terms of what it meant for them. It wasn't big on the scoreline, but big win, important win. Upset win, whatever you want to call it. They were underdogs and they won. So up from 84.93 to 86.35. Not too far behind France now. And Scotland in the reverse with that loss to the Italians, man, almost down a full 2. 84.29 down to 82.88. So not quite full 2, but yeah, there was potential for them to pass England if the results had been reversed. But no, it is still 6th for the Scots. Argentina's still there in 7th. Wales still there in 8th, although they have dropped from 79.54 to 78.62. And as I mentioned, the Italians, they are just creeping up this board, man. Up from 10th into 9th. Just a week or two ago, it was their first time in the top 10 in a very long time. And now they are past the Wallabies for the first time. So 78.05 up from 76.58. Can they keep climbing? Well, they can, but we'll see how the results go in the final round. The Aussies, Joe Schmidt's initial start to the Wallabies job sees his team drop. But I kind of say that tongue-in-cheek because obviously they're not getting or losing any points. It's just the teams around them moving. We'll see what Joe Schmidt can do with the Wallabies soon enough. His initial kind of chats with the media, and he's been on a podcast or two, I think, has been very encouraging from what I've seen. Seems to be positive vibes, but still early days. Fiji 11, Japan 12, Georgia 13. Georgia is going to be playing in the kind of championship match in the Rugby Europe Championship soon enough. Samoa and Portugal, they're 14 and 15. Portugal will be the team opposing Georgia in that game. Tonga, USA, Uruguay, Spain, and Romania as well. Spain and Romania, they're in 19th and 20th, will be the teams that contest the bronze final in that competition. So, yeah, it's more than just the Six Nations that has been going on. In terms of the permutations for the final round of the Six Nations, Wales against Italy, that battle for the spoon. The Welsh cannot catch the Argentinians, even if they get a big win over the Italians, but avoiding the spoon is obviously the priority for them more than the world rankings. The Italians can go both directions. If they lose, they will drop back below the Wallabies. If they win, they could pass the Welsh and see the Welsh drop below the Wallabies as well. So lots to play for in that game, not just the spoon. Ireland and Scotland. Ireland, you can't take any points off the Scots. They're on 90.69. The Scots are on 82.82. Remember, we score home sides with a kind of plus point advantage, so the gap is going to be more than 10 for the Irish. So Ireland, no matter what the margin is, if they win, they're not taking any points. They will finish the Six Nations on 90.69. But if they lose, could drop below New Zealand. So that'd be a heck of a start to Razor's career. But the Scots have not beaten the Irish for a long time, and it is in Dublin. The Scots are very unlikely to pass England if they win. I think they would need like a 16-point win over England and for England to lose against France. So pretty unlikely. France and England, speaking of them, the French cannot catch the All Blacks. The gap's going to be too much. But the English could pass the French if they were to get a win there over in France. So, yeah, folks, those are the Rugby World Rankings. How do you feel they represent the teams at the moment? If you were backing some of the kind of Southern Hemisphere teams to take on the Northern Hemisphere teams at the minute, How do you think they stand? Or with some kind of coaching changes for the Pumas, for the Wallabies, for the All Blacks, do you think it's still a bit of an unknown quantity? And are you going to be watching Georgia take on Portugal in the Rugby Europe Championship? We'll have to keep an eye on that one as well. Women's Six Nations is starting soon. Super Rugby is in full swing. URC Premiership Top 14, all kind of midway through their seasons. Heaps of rugby on. Good time to be a fan. You guys let us know your thoughts, and talk to you guys again soon. See you later.